Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Top of the morning to you. Hello, hello, hello. 'Tis a beautiful day. Nice crisp morning here in the mountains. Nice crisp mountain air. Little fire going. See? Got my fire pit going, of course. Bunker's looking good, man. What it do, what it do, what it do. Just cop some Old West cinnamon rolls. Did you really though, dude? Did you really, or are you just trolling? If you got some genuine Old West cinnamon rolls out of Pismo, California, you the man. What time zone am I in now? I'm in redacted. I mean, I just set them up in the mountains. You can extrapolate from there. Oh, you're from Morro Bay. Well, yeah, dude. You got to get them Old Wests, dude. If you're gonna be in Pismo all day, make sure you get splashed before you leave, bro. You probably know that if you're from Morro Bay, but don't sleep on the splash, dude. I got eyeball crusties still. Oh boy. Thanks for letting me know, guys. Thanks a lot. Yeah, our ears popped because you got to imagine we've been living below sea level for, well, me for almost 4 years and Amelia for a year and a half. So when we started coming up here to where we're living now, our ears were like, oh. Yeah, you have to look at a map. You have to do the speculating. You have to wait for me to slip up. People keep saying I'm slipping up, but the problem is that I've slipped up with several different states. And on a mafia movie bender, dude, I go on those too. That's the good stuff. That's the goods. Madeira confirmed, yeah. Confirmed, locked in. I feel that. Just moved out of Iowa up to middle of nowhere, Apple Valley, or LA. Oh, you moved out of LA. Oh, okay. What am I smoking? Cigarettes. What are you smoking? The rural mountains of Russia, dude. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Russian mountains. I did. I had a nice little, 2-person, 1 dog, 1 cat Thanksgiving. It was nice. It was good times. Somebody's cutting up some dead wood out here somewhere. I can hear a chainsaw going. It's either a chainsaw or a weed whacker. It's hard to tell. It's distant. I think it's a little chainsaw though. You watched the horrible Aquaman movie with your dad, huh? Oh, well, that's good times though. You got to enjoy that fatherly time, man. I kind of miss that about being estranged from my dad. Is sometimes you miss that kind of stuff. The laughing and the fun stuff. And I really wish that with me and my dad at the age that I am and the age that he is, that's what it could be. But we're just like oil and water, man. We don't mix. he doesn't approve, I guess, of what I do or how I do it. And I'm not looking for approval. So it just doesn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't work out for us as people. But, you know, we got similar senses of humor and shit. So it would be nice to have access to that. The laughs, the ha-has, and the funnies. Did your parents want you to work at their factory? No, I don't think so. I think they wanted me to go to college and be a doctor or lawyer or teacher or something, you know. Like, I think if you truth serumed my parents and asked them, like, what were your hopes and dreams for PJ, I don't think that, you know, what I'm currently doing would be on that list. But maybe I'm wrong. Has your dad seen the show? I don't know. I assume he has, but there's just a good a chance that he hasn't. You know, get married, have 2.5 kids, yeah, white picket fence. I was on my way to that, and things were fucking gravy when I was married, but when that happened, it just kind of shook everybody's foundations, I guess. And my dad really was the person that couldn't handle it, which is weird to me because he, you know, went through a divorce himself. He dated multiple, you know, women after the divorce, and sometimes two at a time. And, you know, he was very, very judgmental about the way I went about things. But, you know, what are you going to do? You got to do what's right for you. And that's that, I guess, right? You know, people's expectations for you are some of the hardest things in the world to shake. At least for me it was, you know, I don't know. Some people maybe aren't heaped with kind of expectation and shit, but I know I was. And it took me a long time to start having expectations for my own fucking life, you know, rather than trying to fulfill everybody else's expectations for said life. So I'm going to go grab my weed. You guys get to come in with me to the bunker. 100 bands in my pocket, it's on me. See these bottles are lonely. Hello, Cricket. Do you want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hello to everybody? Oh, hello, Cricket. The people, they love you. They want more of you. I'll show you guys my pregnancy chair, too. Look at this. This is my new expensive show chair. I no longer sit in a computer chair. Now I have a pregnant lady's chair. This is legitimately a chair for a pregnant lady. I didn't know it when I got it. I probably should have known it when I got it because the brand is Baby Leto. But it's comfy as fuck. Like, look at this. Watch this. You guys ready? You can't really see what's happening, but just kick with it. I'm pushing a button. Oh. Now this is how you work right here. If you're an online personality, you want to get one of these, especially if you're fat like me, because this is the shit right here. This is the shit right here. Prego chair. It is expensive, yeah. It was not a cheap chair. Because I'm a fat fuck and I want this thing to last me a few years, so I didn't buy no cheap chair. I got me an expensive chair. I need it, dude. I'm a busted down old man. You guys want me to do this hard ass job sitting here and being funny all day. Gonna need a chair. I think I might be because this chair is so comfortable, meds peds. Like, I'm starting to think I need to go get a pregnancy test because I shouldn't be this comfortable in this chair for me. But it really is. It's perfect. It's called a glider. You see how when I rock it, that's why they call it a glider. It sits on a round base and rotates so I can get in and out of my chair, and it glides. Pretty sick. Is it better for a fat guy than those big and tall chairs? Well, that's what I've been sitting on. So if you guys have watched Highdeology or my Deep Fat Fried show or whatever the fuck, my other show, I've been sitting in a big and tall, kind of like real heavy based computer chair made for fat people. And it lasted me forever. I got rid of that chair finally when I moved, and I swear to God, that chair will be like, it'll be around after humans are gone. Like, that thing was built like a brick shit house. It never broke, but it just wasn't comfortable. Like, it wasn't comfortable for me anymore. The pad on it where your butt goes, you know, had gotten like smooshed, and my ass was sitting on mostly like, it just wasn't, it was no bueno, man. I had that shit for like 6 years. Does it have an imprint? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, are you talking about like a logo on it or some shit? I don't think so. Well, like, I looked at a ton of reviews when I bought this chair because I finally got sick of it. When we moved down here, Amelia has a little computer chair, right? And it's just a normal chair, like a $50 chair. She's young and in shape, so she sits in a normal chair. So I stole that for in here, and I recorded a couple of, I did Flash Fried in here, I did a Highdeology in here. I've done 2 or 3 meetings with the guys this week in here that ran 2-3 hours a piece. And I was just like fucking, like when I'd get up, I'd be like hobbled like an old man. I'd be like, I was like, fuck this. Like, I gotta get a chair. I gotta get a fucking chair that works for me. And so that's what I done did. Oh shit, do I have a fucking lighter? You know what, I'm just gonna take this whole rig out now that I got it ground. Okay. Oof. Here we go. Take this out too. Sticker or nah? Sticker. That means sativa. Oh, I think. Hold on. No, that means indica. We don't want indica today. We want a sativa. Where did that go? That's gonna be fun to find. Where is my sativa cart? I guess I don't need it right now, but I'd like to know where it is. Where are you at, boy? There you are. No? No, that's the old one. Shit. Well, shit. Where did the little cart go? I'll have to check my pants from last night. It's probably still in there. Alright, well, fuck it. This will be fine for now. I think sticker means... Hold on. Yeah, that's definitely indica. Well, we'll leave that in here. We'll leave that in here. I'll just take the weed out. We'll do it old school today until I can have time to look for that. Excuse me. The life of a pothead. You wanna come out? You wanna stay in? You wanna stay in? Dinor's giving me this look like, Dad, it's too cold. Like, I know, bud. That's why Dad always has a fire out here. Because it is too cold. Speaking of, I need to throw a log or 2 on this bad boy and stoke it. It's starting to get a little puny. Can't have that shit. No puny fires here. Ooh. Couple more logs to take this up. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Now, all I got to do is smoke some weed. Dude, I make a fire in the morning when I wake up to knock the chill out, so I can just sit back here and look at the land. And then at night, I make a fire and I chill out here and watch the sun go down and shit. If I can catch it. Yeah, no carts required, exactly. Old school methods. Wake and bake. You have bars on the back door and window. High crime area? No, actually. But I think the people that own this place are a little paranoid, to be honest with you. To be quite frank with you, it was hard to get this place. Because the people that own it were very selective about who they rented to. And I had to get to know them and call them and answer a bunch of questions and shit. And when I got here, like security doors and shit, and I'm like, why? I'm like, why? Yeah. I gotta be honest with you, like I don't even lock these doors sometimes, but whatever. Yeah, this little like mountain neighborhood area, like I've seen the other houses around here, none of them are set up like that, just mine. Which is cool. I guess I'm safer than anybody in the neighborhood. What do you watch, Mean Streets or Casino? I like Casino better than Mean Streets, but they're both good. Like you're not gonna go wrong with one or the other. They're both really good, so I'd say watch both. But Casino's my favorite out of those two. Like likelihood of anything ever bad happening is slim. Locking doors in rural areas isn't always a need, though. My area we've had break-ins lately. Yeah. So my landlord warned me that like people will. There's a little like pile of metal scrap in the back of my property back here. And my landlord told me like at some point they're gonna have somebody come out and pick all that up. But he said in the meantime there's aluminum and stuff back there, and you know like people will steal that to sell it. And so he said you gotta keep your eyes out, you know, just watch the property or whatever, because people will come. And but I ain't seen nobody, man. I haven't seen a soul. So I think that, like I said, I think the people that own this place are a little penoid. A little bit. Man, I'm gonna have to do this the other way, huh? Oh yeah. Wee. Well, hello there, naughty priest. Or they just was warning you not to sell it for scrap yourself without saying it. Yeah, no, I mean, trust me, I don't want to go through the hassle of that shit. They ain't got to worry about that. It's way off in the back corner of my property where I never go, so I don't really care if they leave it forever. But it's really the only thing back here that would be worth somebody jumping the fence to get, you know. Ugh. I will tell you, like the cold air and the drier air up here has played hell with my sinuses and shit. Like I'm all in the moist air mode. I'm used to living in Louisiana where it's just, you know, at least 50% humidity pretty much every day. And now I'm in a cold, dry place and I'm like, oh. Whoops. Man, for as many live streams of Paul's as I've watched, I've still yet to even be noticed by his lordly gaze. Well, now you've been noticed. So now what? Now what are you going to do about it? I'm going to go to the USPS like now. I'm going to bring you with me. Cool. Road trip to the USPS. Bring your own pothead. Bring your own ridiculous stoner to the USPS. Diego Maradona died, but you probably don't even know who he was. Shame on you. I don't know who Diego Maradona was, but I'm sorry to hear that he passed. Whoever he was. Your antibody test came back positive today. Oof. Well, hopefully you're one of the like 98% that just get like a cold and it passes over you, man. That's pretty spooky. Did you play soccer like a Maradona? Oh, he's a soccer player? I did play soccer when I was a kid. I had a dual position. I played forward and goal. Those are my two favorite positions, and I was good enough to get to pick. So I'd usually start the game as a forward, and then they'd rotate somebody else in for the last half of the game and put me in goal for the last half. I loved goal. But I used to play some soccer, man. Used to be pretty good as a kid. I used to stay on a property similar to yours. We had 2 horse stables in the back we used to shoot squirrels with a BB gun and smoke dope. Good times. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I wouldn't shoot a squirrel. I wouldn't shoot anything. I'm not a hunter type, you know. I can't do that shit. I look at that little squirrel, I couldn't do it. I guess with a BB gun, you're probably not killing them. Maybe. Depends on the BB gun, I guess. But yeah, I don't see many squirrels back here. But they're probably everywhere. I got a big stand of trees back here, so it's like, you know, they're probably fucking everywhere. Can you ride a horse? I can, yeah. I wouldn't jump my big ass on, you know, a horse that ain't, you know, able to carry me. But yeah, I can ride a horse. I learned how to ride a horse when I was a kid. We had a horse when I was growing up before my parents got divorced named Sugar Baby. And I rode her bareback when I was a kid. And then I took riding lessons and shit. So I know how to do Western riding. It's like a bike. You never forget it. Side saddle? No. No, that's the way ladies ride, my friend. Or I guess cowboys doing tricks. One of the two. Ooh. Ooh. Finally become the mountain hippie you've always meant to be. Yeah, I guess so, huh? Favorite cowboy movies? I like the Sergio Leone westerns, so Good, Bad, and the Ugly, Fistful of Dollars for a few dollars more. I like Once Upon a Time in the West. I like Tombstone. Those are probably my favorite cowboy flicks for sure. Makes sense. My pops is a mailman and always complains about the UPS dude hanging out in the morning at the post office. Oh. Why does he complain about that? Oh, Django, yeah. The OG Django, huh? Yeah. I like the new Django as well. I like the OG Django, so I'm cool with it. Unforgiven is really good too. I don't watch that one as much, but it's not because it's not a good movie. It's just a little bit heavy. Like Unforgiven's a pretty heavy flick, but it's great. Paul, would you act with a grizzly and do a modern remake of Grizzly Adams? If the price is right, sure, man. I'll fucking do whatever you want. I'll put a tutu on and try and dance like a ballerina if the price is right. I'm a performer, man. If you think you can use me, I'll be Grizzly Adams for you. Show me the grizzly. Point that grizzly out. I'll be right there. What's the price on the tutu? You gotta call my agent for that shit, man. I don't do quotes. My agent does quotes. I was having a convo with someone in chat. He complains because they have to give a certain amount of packages they sort to UPS. Oh, okay. Got it. Fair enough. How's the weed where you're at? Clean, beautiful, frosty, lovely, flavorful. You've reminded me. I want it again. I gotta pack another little bowly bowl here. I dusted that one. Oh, I've got just enough for one more. 100 bands in my pockets on me. See these bottles are lonely. Got you saying wow. rest of this. Come on. Don't be stubborn with me. Just get in there. Yeah. Okay. We're good. Pack that down a little bit. Big chunks of cheese. Yeah. Woo. Woof. Yee. Yeehaw. Paul, what happened to Reg's weed? It all disappeared. Yeah, like you get Regs down south now. Like you get Reggie down south, and that's basically all you get down south, unless my experience was different from other people. Like your guys, like in the deep south, is going to have Reggie, and it's going to be Reggie from a legal state. So all the mids and lowers from the legal states get packaged up and fucking illegally smuggled out and taken to the legal states. So yeah, you get Reggie down south, and that's pretty much all you get. Like what they call loud down south in the illegal states, 99% of the time is dirt weed here. It's dirt weed in like a fucking legal state. So I got to tell you, man, I had to like the first day I was here, and the first time I went and got myself some legal weed and shit and sat down with it, like I just spent a day high. I had to get acclimated to the shit. It's Colorado bud, dude. They're not playing up here. Whew. You have to mess up so bad to grow reg, dude. I'm gonna tell you something that if you know anything about bud, should make you sick to your stomach. I used to find seeds about 50% of the time. And if you know anything about bud, you know what that means. That means that plant had flowered and reproduced and was no longer anywhere half as potent as it should be. About 50% of the time for my dude, I'd find seeds in my weed. What state grows or has the best weed? So this is my third legal state. And so I've had Cali bud, I've had Washington bud, and then the bud where I'm at now. And I don't know, man. They're all pretty comparable, honestly, to be quite frank with you. Washington bud was probably just a little cleaner than anything I've ever had, but that's because Washington has these real upscale clean shops and shit. I've only been to a couple of those in Cali when we visited LA for the meetup, and here it's handled differently, so. But the product, I would say, is comparable in all three places I've tried it. It's frosty. Like, there's just a quality to it. When you get, high-grade legal, you pinch a bud. You take a bud and you pinch it, and it just crumbles to dust. It's, like, so frosty and so beautiful. You don't even really need a grinder. It's good to have one for that keef, but you don't even really need it. Paul, what would happen if there was a DFF fan in your little town? Well, they'd have a hard-ass fucking time finding where I live, even if they had my address, so I'm not. But if they showed up, they're not going to get a warm welcome. I'm not going to shoot nobody, but I'm just going to tell them, like, hey, this is my home. Fuck off. Don't show up again. And it won't be out of meanness. It'll just be out of, like, hey, there's lines and shit. You get access to me on the internet, but I'm not your fucking buddy. Don't be showing up in my pad and shit. You far from the grocery store? We're just inside the delivery area of DoorDash for the little town that we live near. So that's great. Or I don't think we use, well, the Instacart is what you use for groceries. So we're just inside their little delivery area. And I was like, whoo. But yeah, we're close enough. So yeah, we can get anything delivered out here. We're just inside the delivery area of most of the little restaurants in the shitty little town I live near. And just inside the delivery area of the groceries and shit. So there's really, like right now I don't have a car. I sold my car back in Louisiana. And because I just didn't want to tow it. And we're looking to lease a car here pretty soon. But in the meantime, we don't need one. Is the internet okay? It's really good, actually, in comparison to fucking Louisiana. It's not like blow your mind top shelf internet or anything, but it's real stable and real fast in comparison to Louisiana. Yeah, like good infrastructure here. It ain't the best. I'm pretty sure it's like buried copper cable or whatever. So it's not like a T1 line or some shit like you could get in a big city, but I got really good internet, so I'm happy with it. I've done some streams and shit. I streamed the entirety of Flash Fried, and I think I dropped 17 frames. My meter was still at 0.0%, and that's usually at like 2-3% when I do a stream back in Louisiana at least. That would be a good stream. 5-6% drop frames were not unheard of for every Highdeology I did down there. And I streamed the entirety of Flash Fried, the last one we did, and dropped 27 frames. So it's good internet. I'm lucky on that front. But I kind of looked into that before I moved. Yeah, thank you. Escaping the swamp was a big deal. I found that the country internet is slower but more stable because yeah. It's I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna lie to you guys and tell you I'm getting the speeds I would get in like New York or Chicago or LA or some shit. I'm not. But once again, there's no competition for my bandwidth out here, really. I've probably got like 5 neighbors within 20 miles of me, and most of them, a couple of the houses I drove by have dishes on it. So I have a feeling a lot of those people have like dish DSL out here. But they offered whatever the fuck it was. I always get the speeds fucked up, but whatever it is, gigabit speeds out here, and I've tested it, and it's slightly sub gigabit, but it's close. So happy for you, man. You've got a cool house, about to lease a car, you're out in the country, so much quieter on the stream when you used to be in LA. Yeah. No, I mean that it's done me wonders to be out away from civilization a little bit, and to have a little piece of land where I can have a stupid little burn barrel and shit, and where it's okay to do that. You know what I mean? Like that has been like really cool. G-Wagon, 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 about to blow it up. Oh man, this bud is sticky. I got a whole nother bowl just like stuck in my grinder because it's so icky. There we go. Well, no, that didn't even get it all. I'm gonna have to dig you out with like a toothpick or something. You naughty little bud. Yeah, look at this. Look at this shit. I'll show you guys. This was just stuck in the teeth of my grinder. It's like a whole. It's like, look at that shit. Just look at the color on it. You don't even. I haven't seen this shit. I haven't even seen this shit in years. I'm in heaven, dude. It's a cheap little grinder, honestly. It's a little 3-stage Keef grinder, so it's not that cool. I had a cooler grinder back in Louisiana that I had to throw away finally because I wasn't trying to travel with a grinder that had ground probably like, I don't know, conservatively 100 ounces of weed through it. You just don't do that. You don't travel across like 9 states and some of them illegal states with that shit on you, so. I feel ashamed for coughing so much, but it's like a combo between the dry air and the fucking bud. I'm not used to the heavy hitter. I do dab, but I just don't have a rig right now. It's not my preferred way to do things, honestly. When I was in Washington, sorry, excuse me. runny nose. You guys have to deal with me wiping my nose and being gross, but that's just the way it's gonna have to be. Yeah, when I was in Washington, I really got into dabbing, and and then here's what happened. So I went. We had a pot shop that was near my apartment and the studio in Bellevue. It was called Green Theory. I would walk down there. It was about like a 10-minute walk from my pad. I'd walk down there, and I'd get a bunch of wax. I'd just buy 6 or 8 grams of wax, right? And that would last me forever. Not forever, but it'd last me a good month, probably like 6 grams of wax. So I get it, and I'd take it back, and I'd dab all day. Just little dabs. Then when I would get together with the guys were still mostly smoking flower, right? I'd get together with the guys, and they'd pass a J, and I'd watch everybody else get high, and I was just like, why is everybody so stoned? And we're smoking like, top shelf Washington bud at that time. And it's like, why is everybody so high? Well, my tolerance had fucking popped up because of the concentrates. And so I couldn't even really, like, it took me like 2 big fat, like 2-gram joints to get real good and toasty anyway. And I was like, man, I can't do that. So now, like, I dab, but it's irregularly, you know what I mean? I'll get like 1 gram of wax, and I'll, bust a dab every once in a while. I don't even have a rig right now, like I said, so I have no wax. I use the little vape pens too, but yeah, man. It got to the point where it's just like, this is gonna be expensive for me to maintain. Flower is my home base, I'm an old school California 90s kid, grew up there. I mean, that's where the weed game was invented. So, I love flower. I love hitting a bong. My favorite way to smoke is, believe it or not, an old school, just easy peasy pipe. Nothing fancy about this. It's just a little, probably like $20 pipe or some shit that I picked up at a smoke shop. It's good and thick, so it's not like a cheap throwaway tourist pipe, but it's nothing special, you know what I mean? And this is my preferred way. Like, this is how I like to smoke. Yeah, a little crumble on top of your flower is good. You can actually hide a little nugget of wax in the middle of your bowl. Scotty used to pull that shit on me when we lived in Washington. One of his favorite things to do, because he knows I'm a big pothead, is like, hey, Paul, you want greens on this bowl? And I'd be like, yeah, I want greens on this bowl. And he'd pass me the bowl. I'd be like, thank you, man. That's very nice of you. He'd be like, no, dude, no, here you go. And I'd, cherry it up and take a big old rip. And then he'd start laughing. And then I'd look down at that bowl, and I'd see this hot little coal in the middle of it. He had just like taken a little ball of wax and just hidden it in there, so that hit was just like, and I'd blow it out and cough and be like, you motherfucker, and he'd die. Like, that was his favorite shit, was to dose me. Like, hand me a bowl that had he called it a landmine in it. He said that it had a landmine. Oh, Scotty. A landmine. Scotty's awesome, dude. I think for people that have never met any of us, I think getting to meet and kick it with Scotty in a comfortable place would probably be the most surprising. TJ would be probably shocking to some people, because they would expect him to be a certain way, and he's not, But I think, like, once people got a handle on just how fun and funny Scotty is, and how mischievous he is to chill with, Scotty really doesn't give a fuck. That's Scotty's secret. He's not faking not giving a fuck. He really doesn't, and it comes out when you're chilling with him. But he's a trip, man. Me and Scotty, we've had some chill ass times, just me and him, especially back when we were in Bellevue. because I'm not as much of a curmudgeon as TJ is when it comes to like making plans and going out and doing some shit. And so Scotty would call me up and we go hit up a movie or go get some food, or he'd just come over to my pad and we'd smoke up and chill. I really miss that, man. It's one of the things I want to try and talk to the guys about. Once I'm all settled in here, is like, we're businessmen. We do the show together, but I don't want us to lose that like friendship thing, I don't feel like we are, but distance creates distance, and we haven't chilled together in like 8 months, all together in the same room, just to chill, So I really think that's important for us to maintain, in addition to the business side of things. You know what I mean? Moving away doesn't help. Well, living in Louisiana was killing me, so I'm glad I'm out. And they're looking to move different places as well. Like we have different plans now than we had pre-COVID. It's like, sorry, I don't know what their timetables are, but they both have different ideas about where they want to move to. So it's like, just is what it is. I don't want new friends. See, that's the thing, dude. Once you reach a certain point in your life, the idea, now I'm not adverse to it. If I meet somebody and we become friends, we'll be new friends, but I'm just not looking for that anymore in my life. Like, I'm not looking to make new friends. I got friends. I got enemies. I got everything I need there. Well, you will be happy to know that Dank D&D will be making a comeback. That is one of the properties that I'll be working really hard on in the coming months, to learn how to do DMing from a distance and how to integrate my style of DMing into some kind of one of the programs, Roll20 or one of them's. So those of you that were fans of that will be happy to hear that will be making a triumphant return. And that'll be good. That'll be fun. I just have to learn how to DM on one of these, remote programs. And I choose my friends carefully and chose wrong. Blocked everyone else out. Wrong move. Yeah, I mean, that'll happen. See, I have, like, the people that I have that I call friends are people that, in some cases, I've known since I was, like, a fucking baby. Like, I've got 2 or 3 friends that I've known since I was knee-high to a grasshopper, and then I consider the guys that I work with my friends, and their wives my friends, and that's basically my circle right there. That's it, My fiance, but she doesn't go in that same category. She is my friend, but she's my mate. You know what I mean? There's mate, and then there's friends. My mate. I like that shit. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know why. I won't call you my mate a lot, but when I said it, I was like, yeah.
It don't bug me none.
She's my mate.
It don't bug me at all.
You what, mate? Not that kind of mate. That's not the mate I'm thinking of. My whole platoon is watching Warm Greetings from the USMC. Well, thank you for your service, unironically.
If that's not a troll.
If that's not a troll, yeah. If you actually have a crew of, grunts out there watching, what is it that the Marine Corps says? Semper Fi, do or die, gung-ho, 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 one for the commandant, one for the corps, you know what I mean? Drop and give me 20, you motherfuckers. You're slacking. I'm going to pretend they're out there, and I'm going to be their drill sergeant for a second. You're slacking. Your uniform looks like shit. Your bunk is made like a 2-year-old made that bunk. Is your depression any better in your new location? I don't know. I haven't been here long enough to like make a call on that. I will tell you that I feel better here. But depression is one of those things that follows you. You know what I mean? There's no place that's a cure for my depression. But getting out of a place that was just completely contrary to my politics, completely contrary to the way I live my life, where I was looked on as like a freak. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
I don't know, got too smoky.
No, it's okay. Smoke follows beauty. It happens. It happens. Smoke
Can I add
follows beauty.
More wood? Do you think that would help?
No. It's just catching right now.
Cut some bark.
I added a couple of logs and they just flamed up. And so it's going to be a little smoky for a minute, dude. Smoke follows beauty. You gotta have that. You can always move back to Louisiana, right, dude. I will never visit Louisiana again if I can help it. Like I said my goodbyes to that place. Sayonara. Like I don't even want to be a tourist in Louisiana again. I've seen enough. I've experienced enough. That'll help the sinuses. Oh yeah, all this smoke in my face. It's gonna be great. Here, let me stoke this. Ooh. See if I can get these logs to actually burn. Ooh.
This is probably the best stoke.
Yeah, thank you. I'll stoke her. Give her a stoking. Come on, you bastards. Get with the goddamn... Oh. Blah. G-Wagon, 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 and we pulling up. What was that?
I think we definitely need to dump the coals tonight.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little coaly in there for sure, but here's what we're gonna do. Well, actually, I don't even know if this is necessary, but it'll help. It'll help. We're gonna do that, and I'm gonna give it a little bit of the lazy spritz. Oh, it's okay. Well, that's why I got a decent pipe and not a $20 pipe. Well, I think that is a $20 pipe and not a $5 little thing that'll break immediately.
But not a $100 one either.
Yeah, not a $100 one either, because that could have been the end of that pipe, but that is not the end of the world. What are you gonna do? All right, there we go. We got our lazy juice on there. It should be fun now. Let's get those logs a going. Maybe you could invite Thomas and Scotty to your pad to hang out. Well, that's one of the things that like. So I usually try and play things close to my chest when it comes to business decisions, but I'll let you guys in on a little something because there's been a lot of people in the community that are concerned about the whole distance thing, right? So we're a business now, which means that we can take tax-deductible business trips for meetings and stuff like that. So once COVID chills out, let's say hypothetically that TJ and Scotty end up moving out of Louisiana to the same area. 3-4 times a year, as a tax write-off for the business, we can get together for a couple of weeks in a location where we can rent studio space and film a bunch of fucking content together. In that 2 weeks, we could probably film enough content to sprinkle out over 4 or 5 months, right? And so the plan is, once it's safe to fly again, once the vaccine is out and we get COVID at least somewhat under control, then like 4 times a year I fly out to them or they fly out to me or we all fly to a destination that has a studio space that we can rent. We spend 2 weeks cranking out 3-4 months worth of content. And we sprinkle it out over the course, you know what I mean? And so for you guys, you'll see us in the studio. You'll see us outside of the studio. There'll be people that watch us that probably don't even know that I've moved for like a year. You know what I mean? So this whole idea that we're never going to be in the same fucking room together again is just ludicrous. It doesn't make any sense. When it's safe to do that, we'll all fly to a place and we'll get together. Yeah, we'll still do remote shows, obviously. That'll be the balance of the bulk of what we do. But we'll get together 3-4 times a year and shoot a bunch of in-person content at a rental studio and chill together and you know, make Highdeologies together and stuff at our Airbnbs and have fun. And then, you know, we'll sprinkle that content out over the course of the year so you guys will get to see us together. You know, it's really, I think people don't like change, you know what I mean? And that really is what I think it all comes down to. Like people People are afraid of change. I know you talked about reading Ishmael, which is a great idea. Would you be open? Would you be open to reading sci-fi stuff like Dune? Are you talking about like reading it to you guys? I mean, yeah, sure, why not? Dune would be kind of a tough one to read.
I don't know how much of it you can do.
You can do it. It's just like, I mean, there's audiobooks of Dune, so
Yeah,
it's like I could read Dune to them.
Can you like not monetize it or something?
You can read a book.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that they can fucking bust you for sitting down and reading a book. At least I've never heard of. Maybe they can, but I've never heard of anybody getting busted for sitting down and reading a book to people. I'm just gonna go grind some weed. I'll be right back. And I might take a leak too, so I'm gonna leave you guys here for just a second. You can stare at my ceiling. Make sure you don't see any like bugs or scorpions or anything, okay, while I'm gone. I'll be right back. I'm gonna just pop in here. Shark, baby shark, Don't start that shit. Alright. Pee taken. Paul went pee. Come on, D. I'll let you out. There you go. Go see your mama. Go on. Alright. Oh shit. Alright, I gotta grab that fucking grinder. Did I leave it out there? No, I grabbed it. Okay, we good. That'll grind up the last of that eighth. Or maybe I'll do a real genuine fucking search for that, because really, like, I could switch over to a sativa card at this point. I just gotta find that motherfucker. Alright, let's do some backtracking. The vape is here. Let's find the pants I wore last night. That's a good place to start. Those should be over here in the pile that will eventually be the hamper. Okay, so where are the pants? There's the pants that I wore last night. Okay. Let me see here. Let's give it a check. I don't think it's gonna be in here. I'm pretty sure I pulled that shit out. Which to me means that it might have fallen on the ground. Dude, you guys get to be on a stoner scavenger hunt. I always lose mine because I lean mine up in odd places. Yeah. Well, okay, so indica card is on it. Maybe it's out on the, it's not out on the thing. I would have seen it out there. Indica card is on it. All right, I'll grind up the rest of this weed, but I feel like it's right here on the desk. That's usually what the case for us stoners. It's usually just right here on the desk somewhere. So this is the old cart. That's not it. Look at my ceiling fan. Look up under here. Give a quick little peek. Nope. Okay. Do one more little stonery search of this area, and then I'm really gonna have to like look under my chair and shit. Because you can't be losing a cart. You can't lose a whole ass cart. That's not the way things work. The world will not be at balance with a cart that is lost. Cricket might have got up in here and like batted it off the desk too. That's a total fucking possibility. He is a little mischief maker. But I feel like it's gotta fucking be here. Where are those pants at? I didn't search those pants very well. Oh, you know what? The jacket. I bet I found it. Baby shark, baby shark. Here's the jacket. Let's see. Please. Please, water. Please, water cup. All right. Well, I'm usually a better stoner than this, but I'm telling you, man, I'm drawing a blank on this fucking cart for no reason. The other one that I use is right here, and I don't see why it wouldn't be right by my shit. I'm a bad stoner today. What are you gonna do? Oh, that's a shame. It'll turn up. Like it didn't grow legs, but usually I've got it, right here in the zone. Right here in the fucking area where it should be. And it's not. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What was I watching? Oh, The Last King of Scotland. Cool. Please scrape the popcorn ceiling off. Nah, it's not my house, bro, so I ain't gonna scrape shit. People that own this can scrape it off when I'm done living in it. I don't give a fuck what they do at that point. What is... Man, this is just gonna bug me. Straight out gonna bug me until I find it. You guys may have to put up with me crawling around on the ground for a second, because it's bothersome to me. I had it last night. 99% sure. It might be out on the fucking table still, but I don't think it is. Maybe it is. All right. Well, let's go find out. Because hold on. Let me do a little cursory look around here. Did you roll under anything? Cricket, did you steal it? Did you steal Dad's vape? How dare you? That's a ticket, Cricket. I'm gonna have to write you up for theft of property. Property theft, Cricket. It's no laughing matter. Single-minded. Oh, yeah. I got caught up in it right here, for sure. You get that single-minded, like, I shall find this. I shall do this. I shall create this. You guys had to deal with that in the middle of a show. Sorry. What are you going to do? Yeah, fire's going good, though, now. That's nice. I did, dude. I checked them chair crevices for sure. I get the feeling it's like in a jacket pocket or in my pants probably still, if it's anywhere. But it's just gonna drive me nuts. Oh well, I'll deal with it. In the meantime, I've got I've got another one of those, but it had like half a cart. You don't want to lose that. But I've got this one now. I can puff on. It's no big deal. Check the fridge. Dude, when it gets to that point, I'll let you know. Check your beard. Yeah, it might be in the folds of my beard. Or my rolls, too. I should probably check those. Check your rolls, Paul. Slow your rolls. Check the backstage of reality. Yeah, I'll go back there and see what's what. Have you ever found anything in your rolls? No, I have not. Dinor? I don't like hearing the fence be moved by you. Can you just not? Thank you. Thank you. Paul, do you think it's possible to influence others to be more considerate? No. Well, maybe, but only through example. And I wouldn't set out with that changing anybody's anything. I wouldn't set out with that as a modus operandi. I'd pick something else. It took me a long time to learn that shit too. You don't change people. People do change, but it's when they want to change. You don't get to like take somebody and go like I really love this aspect of their personality and that aspect of their personality, but I'm going to work to change this thing that they do. Or I'm going to try and help them fix this little idiosyncrasy or this little annoying thing or whatever. No. You don't do that. That's not how human beings work. Sorry. You don't fix people. Even licensed therapists and shit don't fix people. I've changed people for the better, though. Oh, okay. Whatever you say, bro. Whatever it is you say. I guess I'll take your fucking word for it, huh? I'm high on some Washington edibles, and Paul has reminded me of Treebeard. Oh, yeah, dude. Root and bone, rock and stone. What does he say? Root and branch, rock and stone. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's true. Well, you can't, yeah, you really sometimes can't even lead a horse to water when you're talking about people. Like, you can tell people where the water is, but getting them to walk over and even look themselves, let alone take a sip of it, is, you may as well just give up. I don't even bother anymore, honestly. Like, I'll talk to people if they want to talk to me about things, and I'll tell them what I think about shit, but as far as, like, I want to improve the general, like, I don't do that shit anymore. I take care of myself, and I try and be better when I'm around the people that are around me so that I don't radiate negativity all the time and shit. I figure I'm probably doing better for them doing that than trying to change them, you know. I have control over that shit, you know, to a limited extent. I am who I am, so I got to be a little negative, but... Dirty D. What are you doing? Come on. Bring your little ass over here. Have Papa squat over here. Thank you. G-Wagon, 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 gotta blow it up. The Fallout Boy. He's testing the perimeter for weakness. Yes, he is. He's being a dog. Look at him. Sniffing things. Look at him sniff. Look at him go. Being a dog. It's like, oh. Plus, he's got a little hoodie on because it's cold. Yeah, this fire pit is dope. It's a, I don't know if I told you guys, it's the drum from a washing machine. Those are made out of stainless steel, so it's an old washing machine. People will take these as junk, and they put these legs on them and sell them on Craigslist and shit. I went and found one, and yoink! Have you heard of those sound lasers? You can only hear the sound when it's yeah. I'm trying to remember what they're called. But yes, I have heard of sound lasers. I don't think that's what they're called. Sound lasers. Pew pew. Seems like it would be useful in like war as like a misdirection tool. You know what I mean? You beam the sound of like an enemy advance coming from the flank or something and then charge up the back or whatever. Charge them from the rear. Charge from the rear, boys. As soon as they show you their flanks, charge. I could go for a cigarette. Well, spark it up. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, buddy. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. That's what I say. That's how I feel about the situation. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. They use these chirping noise speakers to direct crowds in the riot in Pittsburgh when I was in 2010. Yeah. They already have like sonic weapons. They've got they've got several weapons that have been banned by the Geneva Convention. One of them is a laser that cooks whatever you point it at. So it's like a Star Wars laser, but it like you can't see it. But it basically is like a directed heat laser that will basically cook whatever you point it at. It'll just cook you in place. Those are banned by the Geneva Convention, but it's posited that those are used by Russia and the United States in some of the proxy wars that they have with one another in the Middle East and Near East. Or not Near East, but the Middle East and fucking South Pacific. There are sonic weapons that can, like those riot weapons, the sonic riot weapons they use against protesters and shit. Those exist that can be cranked high enough to deafen anybody in the blast cone of them. So it would be theoretically possible, and likely has happened, that some troop with super hearing protection has just manned a tank whose entire point was to destroy the eardrums of the enemies. Once again, these are also banned by the Geneva Convention, but that doesn't mean that they're not being used. White phosphorus is banned by the Geneva Convention, and we use that against the citizens of Fallujah in Iraq. There was widespread evidence of the use of white phosphorus munitions. Which you can look it up. I won't go into the gory details because I really don't want to bum out my fucking vibe right now, but just say that it cooks you. It burns you alive. It turns your skin into fucking dust. It's horrible. I hear they may use lasers that disorient or kill incoming missiles to defend large ships. Yeah, they're already doing that. So a lot of the missile defense systems that they have use laser misdirection or targeted laser like counter munitions. So what'll happen is, like, I looked into this shit because it's interesting to me. I'm trying to remember the name of it. So Israeli defense has this thing called that they call the Iron Dome. And it's basically a missile defense system that protects them from Scud missiles being fired into their population centers. So Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and all of the big kind of spots are covered by what they call the Iron Dome, right? And I looked into how this thing works, and basically, we developed and sold them the Iron Dome. Yeah, if that USMC guy was here, he could probably speak to this way more authoritatively than me. Him and his fucking platoon that doesn't exist. Oh yeah, I could hear for hours, and I was I could not. I'm assuming you're saying you couldn't hear for hours, and I was having eye and O2 protection. I was just filming it. They forced me into a college I wasn't attending. They beat me and hundreds of others trying to leave. Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude. That's crazy. But yeah, they've got some wild shit. Like Donald Trump has bragged about it. If you guys read Bob Woodward's new book, there's a real eerie quote in it. Bob Woodward, I think it's called Rage. He's done 2 books on the Trump presidency. And Trump at one point on the record with Bob Woodward started bragging about a weapon that we have that nobody knows about. He's like, "We've got weapons, Bob. We've got a new weapon. Just came out, just saw it demonstrated. Nobody knows we have it, and it's insane." it changes the entire world. It changes the game, and we've got it, you know. And he's like bragging about this shit, and you're like, what is that? I wonder, is that like a nuke that'll destroy an entire, you know, country? Is that a what is that? Is that some new fucking kind of like on the ground weapon? Is that some new drone? Like, what is it? What was he bragging about, you know? So there's tons of this shit. Tons of these quote unquote Geneva banned weapon systems that are used in limited capacities and small skirmishes all over the fucking planet. But as I understand it, LRADs can clear a crowd in seconds. Well, LRADs, there are LRADs that exist that can kill a crowd. You turn up an LRAD loud enough, or you have a big enough dish to amplify that, you can literally scramble somebody's fucking brains in their head. That's the thing. It's like LRADs are used because it's real uncomfortable to be, because they're so fucking loud. But you crank those up high enough, you have a big enough transmission system, you can fucking kill people straight up. You can rupture organs, you can fucking cause brain bleeds, you can cause people to fucking lose their... I know, dude, now, we're talking about all this heavy shit, now my vibe is all fucked up. I fucked up my own vibe, dude. But I'm just telling you, man, they got shit. Hey, baby, you okay? All right. Cool. I'm just making sure you're feeling all right. She said she was gonna text you around noon, or so. That sunlight looks nice. It is. Have you listened to the new Miley Cyrus album? No. No, I have not. They're developing ways to visually record dreams. They're developing ways to read your mind. They already have a machine that they can hook you up to. Now, they can't do it remotely without you knowing. You got to be sitting and hooked up to their sensors and shit. But they can read your thoughts in a limited capacity. Like, not exactly what you're thinking, but they can tell this person is thinking about violence. This person is thinking about home. This person, you know what I mean? They can interpret your fucking brainwaves and shit. Rut-row. Time for me to check out and start busking. Love the stream. Have an awesome day. Well, good luck busking out there, Phoebe. If I ever walk by you, I'll hook it up. I'll keep a 20 in my pocket just for you. I see you busking it up. You never do know. They developed nanotechnology that can imprint neural imagery into a blind person's mind so they can visually read. Yeah. G-Wagon, G-Wagon, G-Wagon. Sorry, I got Post Malone on the brain. I was talking music last night in one of the Discords that I'm a member of. Got in a long conversation about music, and it was good. It was a good music conversation. So, talked to Post Malone for quite a bit, and I got Posty on the brain now. I got Posty brains. What happened to the chat? People just ain't saying shit. Oh, no, never mind. I had it scrolled down. I've been in LA too long. I see the same bitches everywhere I go. It don't even matter where they from. Actor, model, what does he say? Model, actress, singer, heard it all before. Population 4 million, I see the same bitches. Yeah. Only no Post Malone exists because of Ozzy. Well, that was a cool crossover. See, the thing about Post Malone is, I don't know if you caught it, but he did a Nirvana tribute, I think in April or May, right, near the beginning or middle of the lockdown that happened at that point. And it was dope. Dude did the best Nirvana covers that I've ever heard. See, the guy's musically literate. He plays multiple instruments. He's got a fucking great voice. Yeah, he did a full Nirvana set, and he had the fucking wherewithal to not play Smells Like Teen Spirit because he wanted to honor Nirvana, and he knew that fucking Kurt hated that song towards the end of his life. And so rather than do the fan service of playing everybody's fucking, you know what I mean, playing the big song, he didn't do it. He played a bunch of deep cuts from Nirvana and a bunch of their great fucking old shit from Bleach and Nevermind, and he was all over the place. He played a whole set of just Nirvana, and he had Chad Barker from fucking Blink 182 drumming for him, and he played all the guitars and shit. It was fucking dope. See, guy is multi-talented, so like he's a dude to watch because number one, he's young as fuck. I think he's like 23, 24 or something like that. He's young, he's multi-talented, so when music changes, he's going to change with it. I will forever be a Post Malone fan because he's just that, he radiates the same energy. I'm not saying he's the same kind of talent, but he radiates the same kind of creative musical energy that Michael Jackson radiates, that Prince radiates, that he's a fucking quadruple threat, dude. Guy can sing, guy can rap, guy can compose, guy can play multiple instruments. He has respect for the music that came before. Dude's a fucking, I don't know, dude. Definitely a musical person to watch. What's a deep cut? A deep cut is like songs that you don't normally hear played on the radio or that your average casual fan of a band don't know because it's like off of an old album or it's a cut that never got radio play. That's a deep cut. I think his track list was good, but yeah, he didn't play Lounge Act either. So, and that's my favorite. But yeah, no, he picked a great track list. I think he picked just his favorite shit, you know. Blows your mind that people listen to radio still. Well, have your mind blown because it's still a massively popular medium across age groups too. People that live in big cities listen to local radio stations almost as much as they did back in the day, in the height of the disc jockey era, because they commute, you know. And we're talking young people, old people, fucking, it's not just a boomer thing. People listen to the fucking radio a lot. I actually like the radio too. I listen to it when I can. Like I don't drive a lot, so, but I listened to a lot of radio when we were, well, not really, actually. I played my Spotify shit, but I did a lot of talking when we drove up here. But yeah, I like the radio a lot too. But it's definitely like, it's not just a boomer thing. It doesn't have the same power it used to, but it has a lot of the reach it used to. It's still, like, you still want radio play if you're an artist. Like, it's still a measure of your success to get radio play. So, it's less about that now, but it's still a big deal. The best music I ever heard, anyway, only has around 10,000 views. I don't understand the sound of popular music. Yeah. Oh, you know, that's cool. You know, I was raised listening to the pop music of my era. You know, Michael Jackson was the king of pop when I was a kid. I listened to a lot of disco because that was my parents', you know, teenage music. I listened to a lot of 80s pop, and then of course I went into 90s pop and 90s rock, and hip hop and shit. And I can appreciate everything, man. I'm glad of that. I'm glad that I can listen to some popular music fucking sucks, but that's always been the truth. Like, there's never been a golden age of music where there weren't annoying ass fucking pop songs. You know what I mean? or annoying, shitty music, but sounds like my state's radio situation. Oh, well, yeah. Dun 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 dun. Grassroots is where it all stems. Well, whatever. My ex was a radio DJ. It took me forever to play something that wasn't butt rock. Oh, yeah. Butt rock, dude. Butt rock is a real deal. It's a real thing. What are you doing? Blowing leaves onto more leaves? What do you leaf blow out here? Huh?
That's enough for now?
You can do as much as you want, baby. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, we'll probably burn that all tonight. No, it's great. Like there's that pile over there. You see all those big logs. I want to have those chunked. Just when we have a gardener or something come out and do a once over on this place, I'll have them bring a chainsaw so they can chonk those. Got some big like downed chunks of tree that are too big to throw in here, but if we chonked them, they'd be big old logs I could throw off in this motherfucker. Can we see the fire? Higher, higher, burning fire, making music like a choir. What are you up to, Dave? He's loving it, man. He's a little guard dog out here. It's like watching all the shit. I think he's just as annoyed by that leaf blower or whatever that is as I am. He's like, quit that leaf blower. Why you need a leaf blower out here? Dude, this fire has got me toasty right now. I'm gonna have to back off. 100% had to back off like a foot, because it had me toasty. Do you think chat affects your worldview even more than your chimp brain can fathom? Chat? Nah. I mean, sometimes, like, somebody will come through chat with a perspective I haven't heard. And I'm not trying to dog on chat, but I don't think you guys changed my worldview a whole lot on the whole. But nobody really does. Like, my worldview has been pretty static for, I mean, I would say conservatively 15 years, but probably longer than that, honestly. I've had some little changes in, like, tactic in that time. But in terms of, like, the tact that I take, it's been pretty much the same for a good solid 15, probably 20 years now. Well, closer to 15. Somewhere between 15 and 20. If I'm being honest. And that's not out of obstinance. There's been, like I said, there's been changes to my worldview in that time, but they've been changes I've come to on my own, really. I take bits and pieces from the people I respect. I find meaning where I can find it, and I apply that, and I make a change when necessary. But if I were having a conversation with myself at 21, 22, and, 22-year-old Paul was sitting on the other end of that fire and we were having a political conversation, we'd agree on 99% of shit. So does that show a lack of growth? I like having new perspectives, and change is healthy. I don't know. For me, like I said, there hasn't been a lack of growth. There has been change in the way that I view the world, but not sweeping change like you see in some people. Like, I haven't gone from being like a hardcore conservative or a libertarian or whatever to being a like far left anarcho primitivist doomer, whatever the fuck I am, right? I've just kind of been that for a long time. And little ways, little parts of the tact that I take with it have changed. And some significant things about my views have changed. Like, I'm different on electoralism than I was when I was 22. If 22-year-old me lectured me on anything, it would be about, well, why aren't you voting for the Democrat? You know what I mean? And I'd say something like, well, because the Democrats fucking suck, and I'm tired of signing my name to that shit. And 22-year-old me would say something like, what do you care about signing your name to shit? It's better than George W. Bush, right? And I'd say, well, yeah, probably. And then 22-year-old me would say, well, see? You should vote. Go canvass for Gore. Go canvass for fucking Biden. Go be active in that sphere. Because I was when I was 22. I canvassed for Al Gore in 2000. I canvassed briefly for Howard Dean in his abortive run. I did a little political activism back in the day, a little electoralism beyond just the vote. So 22-year-old Paul would have been more optimistic on that front than I am, and we'd argue about it probably. But 22-year-old Paul also wouldn't have 18 years worth of liberal electoral failure under his belt either. 22-year-old Paul would be a fresh-faced kind of new political activist. And 40-year-old Paul is an old salt when it comes to that shit. Done seen it, done lived it, done been it. Tired of it. Done with it. All right, this is gonna smoke again, unfortunately, because I sat here and yammered for too long and the fire got low. That's okay. I feel like I'm sort of in the same place you were. Well, that's shocking. I wonder if you'll be in the same place I am in 20 years. It's all good, man. It's all about, like, growth and shit. It's all about, you gotta learn. There's a song called Ooh La La. I don't remember who sings it. The hook, the hook of it is, I wish that I knew what I know now when I was younger. And so there's a bunch of shit in that song that it really resonates with me now as I'm getting older. But there's another line in it that I'm trying to remember. It's a poor young grandson, there's nothing I can say. You'll have to learn just like me, and that's the hardest way. And I think that's true about everybody, really. It's one of the things I had to come to terms with when I decided to kind of walk away from the electoralism talk and shit is, like, a lot of the people that watch me are 22-year-old Paul. And that argument is over a 1% difference in our ideology. And it really stems from that youthful vim and vigor and wanting to be directly involved. And I totally fucking understand that shit. I can empathize because I was it, and I think I was harder on people because of that, because I want them to skip over the hard part, but the hard part is learning it. And I'm not trying to tell you what you're going to believe in fucking 20 years. You might still be doing exactly as you are, just like I am with 99% of my political beliefs, but I'm telling you, man, with age comes, if not wisdom, then at least perspective. And that's the biggest change between me as a political entity now and me as a political entity then. I was anti-war, pro-environment, anti-civilization, pro-rewilding, United States government, pro replacement of it with something socialist. I was calling myself a democratic socialist in like 2008, when it was way not cool to call yourself anything other than just a Democrat. Everybody was just, I'm a Democrat, I'm a liberal or whatever. That was what you were if you were a leftist back then. Nobody was saying I'm a socialist. But I was registered with the DSA back then, or whatever it was that preceded the DSA. I was registered as a democratic socialist. So that shit ain't changed. Only thing that's changed is my value in my own participation and my belief that others' participation in the broken electoral system is going to be able to incrementally fix shit. Well, whoops. Sorry. I've seen too much of this type of talk that happens. This whole bully Biden shit. I've seen it. It's like Obama too. It was that. Okay, so Obama's first go around was awful, but look, he's going to be better than John McCain and this crazy Sarah Palin chick. So, or was it Kerry? Who did he run against the second time?
It was Kerry.
Was it McCain?
Wait, no, are you talking about Obama or are you talking
I'm talking about Obama's second.
Obama's second was Mitt Romney.
Mitt Romney, thank you. I forget which fucking suit it was and which order it went in.
The Ron Paul people were mad and didn't want.
It's just bullshit, man. I heard it from the left then. They're like, oh yeah, Obama's a corporatist and he's a piece of shit and he didn't come through on 99% of the shit we wanted him to, but he's going to be better than Mitt Romney and we will bully him. They didn't use that same language. We'll push him left.
That basically did the Affordable Care Act in Massachusetts.
Right. That's a Heritage Foundation medical plan, which is a conservative think tank. And Obama just took that, and now look at what we got. Here we are. Most people still can't afford fucking health care. We're getting a lot more left-leaning people into office. I mean, you got to understand, I've seen that cycle too. I've seen what was radical for the Overton window at that time get into office, and I've seen them be co-opted, and I've seen it happen on both sides, so the left and the right. The last time it happened on the right was the Tea Party movement. Some of you might be a little young to remember what that was all about, but it was basically like a leftist squad of hardcore, what they called constitutional conservatives, basically racists, that got elected in a big sweeping defeat to a bunch of Democratic incumbents. And they went I about said Hollywood. That would have worked. They went to Washington with this mandate and thinking like, we're going to form a little voting bloc and we're going to, there's enough of us and we're going to push the party to the right and we're going to push the party socially conservative and we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then they immediately got co-opted. Like within like a month or two of them actually taking office, there was this scandal because a picture of them was released skinny dipping in Tel Aviv on a congressional trip with a bunch of hot looking prostitutes and shit. And it was just like, oh, they just became politicians when they got there. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, like, look, dude, I like AOC and shit, but she's already showing signs of going with the flow. She called Nancy Pelosi fucking mama bear, for Christ's sakes. She shilled for Biden super hard. She sucked it up when Bernie got scuttled. I mean, she's showing all the signs of somebody getting co-opted and fucking made a cog in the machine. You know what I mean? I don't mean to piss on your parade or whatever, but that's just where I'm at with that, you know?
Does that make it better or worse?
No, it was great, but it's going to do great. You don't have to put any more. I think that'll be enough. You got it good and stoked, I think, there. That bark is the key. Well, the bark and the dry grass and stuff that we can grab. Just these piles they left are going to be our friend.
Yep.
Because Steve, I think he told me he could mail me his little handsaw thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he offered to mail it to me because I don't want to buy one because we're not going to be here for long. But he told me, like, I'll mail you my handsaw, dude. It's like, no, it's cool. He's got one of those, like, power ones I think we could plug in and just, like, chop up some of these branches. Maybe I will just buy or rent one or something. Can you rent one of those things? Like a chainsaw?
I mean, you might be, like, for, like, a day or something.
Because I've run a chainsaw before.
Or
I just
do the Home Depot Mexicans, man.
the Home Depot Mexicans. True that. You can rent like a chainsaw at Home Depot. All you need is a Dane axe. Dude, I ain't in that shape. Maybe one day I'll be able to come out here and chop up some logs, but I need a fucking gas-powered chainsaw is what I need.
Or Mexicans.
My back is not too bad to handle a fucking chainsaw. It does not take a lot of fucking... You just need to know what you're doing to handle a chainsaw, and I've done it before. I used to cut up cordwood. I did it. It was one of my first, like, paid gigs when I was a kid, but I did it early. My parents were doing it for extra scratch after their bankruptcy, and I went out with them, and I got paid a little dosh to fucking chop up cordwood. I was probably 13, 14 or something like that.
I got child labored at 8.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, it was way more common, you know, even when I was a kid. So that's crazy that you got press ganged at 8.
My dad's work, and they had me like do little odds and ends, and I got $40 at the end of the day for like 8 hours.
Dope. $40? Hell yeah. No, I'm pretty sure I got paid dog shit too. I was more there, I think, to hang out with my parents, but I learned how to handle a chainsaw. So I could cut up the cordwood. I could cut down a tree safely with a chainsaw.
Not these guys.
No, I would never cut any of these trees. Well, some of these outside on the edge of the property, I'd cut probably, but our big boys back here, I ain't touching none of them. Have you, by any chance, seen the other cart? Because
it might be in that jacket.
I didn't check it super good, but can you check both the jackets and my pants from last night? My stoner ass tried, and I don't think they were in there, but it's bugging me, dude. It's bugging me. And she's not high, so she'll probably find it. That isn't easy work. No, it isn't easy work, but I could do it. Like, we don't have a ton of shit. I have a bunch, like, I could show you guys one of these days if I'm walking over that way. Like, we've got, it looks like they just chopped up a tree. They took down a tree back here and chopped it up. And it's in chunks too big for me to throw in a fire pit or really move easily. So all I really want to do, and then there's some down branches out here that are kind of big. All I want to do is just fucking chop that already dry downed wood up. You know what I mean? And do it quick. Finally found a job today. Now I can try and keep my house from being taken. Hey, that's awesome. Congratulations on that. I'm glad to hear good news for you, honestly. I always have to, like, allot for the fact that you might be trolling, but I doubt you are. And that's good. I'm glad. That's good news for you. I know a lot of people are fucking suffering right now, real bad. I'm very lucky to be in a business that didn't suffer during the pandemic. You have a house? Yeah, I rent a house on a big piece of land. The house itself is pretty small. It's nothing special. It's kind of old. It's a fixer-upper, as they would call it. It's not totally fucking tore up or anything. On the inside, it's really nice, but it's got, like, you can see this unfinished deck back here. So it's a little house on a big piece of land. Stepping stone to your mansion? I don't want a mansion, bro. Something like this. I don't know if this is going to be the place. We'll have to see how harsh this winter gets. Because this will be my first kind of mountainy type winter. And I've been told by the few locals that I have interacted with that there's going to be snow and there's possibility of this and there's possibility of that. So, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Show you the view? Nah. I'm not trying to be triangulated, okay, like Shia LaBeouf's flag. I ain't doing it. I ain't having one of you motherfuckers go, well, the position of the sun relative to the time tells us his time zone. I don't want you doing that, okay? I'm not showing you the stars. I think one night you guys could see the moon because I was walking back and forth and I was like, shit. They're going to triangulate me because of the moon. Dude, I ain't Shia LaBeouf's flag, dude. I ain't gonna do it. The reflection of my eyes? Oh, shit. It's over for me, bro. It's over for me. The reflection of my eyes has given me away. The wheel in the sky. I'm gonna have to put you guys on the handle of this for a second. It's gonna be a little weird, but bear with me. Whoa. Okay. All right. This works a lot better the closer it is to me. So I gotta do this next time. All right. That's fine. Oh shit. Fuck. All right. Wait right here. Don't go nowhere. Wee. Wanna go inside? the fart of humanity. When are you gonna be done blowing leaves around? I mean, come on, man. How much leaf blowing can one person do in a day? Give me my peace and quiet back, you bastard. Hello. I had to go get my charger and everything because, yeah, situation. Because I feel like doing more Highdeology, pero... Sorry. I felt like doing more Highdeology, pero no tengo el batereo. Wood grain on the roof of the light intensity of this time of day, direction of the wind blowing in Paul's hair, I can safely rule out Jupiter. Shit, they're doing it.
Rolling out planets.
I know. They tried to, somebody tried to pull this one on me. They were like, "Show us the view, Paul." I was like, "No. I'm not Shia LaBeouf's flag, man. You're not gonna fucking Google fucking Earth me, okay? You're gonna have to work harder than that."
If I do go to the liquor store, do you want me to get more beer or something?
Yeah, if you want to get like a 12-pack or something, just pick whatever looks good.
That way, just might as well make the most out of the trip.
Yeah. For sure. I like having a beer sitting out here at night. But one beer is good for me.
Yeah, you're a lightweight now.
I am. Dude, I'm a total fucking lightweight, but I like it though. I didn't like having to drink like a 6-pack to get a head change. That was harsh days. You had to drink a lot of beer back in the day. Not anymore. Have myself a couple beers and I'm good.
The only thing we'll miss about Louisiana is the Adidas.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Gonna be a long year with this nostril cam. I'm gonna get my arm hooked up out here somehow at some point. I actually think I threw it away because it got rusted. But I'm gonna buy another one of those phone arms and I'll hook it to this over here. I'll hook it up out there. I'll get or a stand.
My OtterBox case for this one. You can maybe shove it in that.
Well, I gotta have a stand so I can put it like this. So I can do it out here and like that's that.
Dinor, do you want to do the phone stand?
Yeah, Dinor, could you be my phone stand? Let's see. Swap the. You want to be my phone stand, Dinor? You out here on watch duty? Looking at your mom? He's a happy boy. Look at his fluffy tail. Look at that.
He had a rat tail for a while.
Yeah, he had a rat tail under there, but now all the floof is. Look at that. Look at that. Look at his little butt. Paul, I recommend one of those tentacle-looking tripods for phones. They bend around anything. Yeah, I've seen those.
Oh, I think I've had one before.
Yeah, where it's got like 3 legs and you can wrap it around and hang it. I don't know exactly what I would attach it to, though, is the problem. See, no, I'd have to be something. See, I think I need a stand. It would have to be a big one to wrap around them poles. Like the ones that I've seen are meant to like wrap around a chair arm or, and I could do that and have it here, but that would still be nostril. Yeah, but that's high. Like it would be like this then. I'd be like doing a Highdeology from this. You know, I need something that's like right here. And that arm works really great for that. And we can hook it to pretty much anything. Or a stand. A stand would be even better, honestly, because I can put it on like a little stand.
Do you have like little tripod screws maybe anywhere on there?
No, but you get like the mount, the same thing like my arm had, and then that screws in, and then you have a little stand, and you can just, I'm sure there's something. I'll look into it.
For now, nostril can.
Yeah, for now you guys are going to have to look up my fucking nose, because it's uncomfortable for me to hold my arm out like this forever. I'm sorry, maybe it's good exercise, but you're going to have to deal with it, dude. I'm out of shape. What do you want? Surely you could use some of that scrap metal to rig something together. Probably. Did Amelia find a job here yet? Amelia's still doing school and stuff, so no. It's not super imperative that Amelia go and work a job in the middle of the pandemic. Like I pay cheap rent on this place for a reason, so that we can have a safe place to be away. Change the angle, Paul. We can see the trees. No, you can't. I can see what you can see, dipshit. I'm looking right at myself. That's a paddling chance. No, Paul. You can't leave me alone in the armpit of Louisiana. Sorry, I done left you. If you're still in Louisiana and took any solace that I was there with you, that them days is over, bro.
Come to Wyoming.
Yeah, come to Wyoming. The cabling above your head is only used in lower Patagonia. Shit. How did they fucking find us? Patagonian cables. Remember when you had to drive through New Mexico to get to his new home? That's true. That narrows it down to about half the country. So you realize where I lived, and you're right. So you can extrapolate that I'm in one half of the country. Congratulations. You've narrowed me down. And or Canada. Because if I was going to Canada, that's the route I would take too.
Who knows? Maybe we just turned back east.
Yeah, maybe we visited family in Arizona and then took the next 18 hours was a jaunt east. People think they're going to figure it out. People think that I'm going to slip up and say the state I'm in. It's not going to happen.
I at least got family everywhere. Visiting family don't mean nothing.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to visit family, especially now that I'm marrying Amelia. Going to visit family means I could be anywhere in the fucking world, bro. The world! State of disillusion, yeah. Honestly, Paul, you said where you are earlier in the video, but I'll keep your secret. Did I? The funny thing is that I said where I was the other day, too, but I said another state. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. I heard the red-chested Hickenlooper in the background. You're clearly in Washington. Damn. Fucking Hickenlooper. Fucking Jay Inslee gave us away.
Think about how big Washington is. It's a chonker.
Yeah, true that. Washington is a chonker.
My Uber is on the way.
Your Uber's coming. Cool. It's so cool that we can get Uber all the way up here. Like that was the thing I was most worried about. Like people were asking earlier, can you get Instacart where you are? And I was like, yeah, we're just inside the Instacart bubble for our little, like whatever the closest little town is. And we can get, fast food and most of the restaurants over there. But I was worried about the Uber because when you're this like remote and stuff, like it's taking you a while though, right? You ordered the Uber a while ago.
I ordered it like an hour ago.
Yeah. But still, I mean, somebody's approaching, so it's like you can get an Uber out here. That's dope. That's cool beans. Yeah, make sure you go meet the Uber out at the curb.
Yeah.
Because they may not be able to find us all the way back here. Well, I can guarantee you that the Uber ain't going to find us back here. they may not know that we live on the property when they pull up. So, why did you leave Louisiana? Swamp, hurricane, politics.
It's literally the 50th out of 50 states.
Yeah, worst healthcare in America. I think bottom 10 education in America.
Bottom 5.
It's ass, dude. Somebody drew a picture of the southeast of the United States and they made like Louisiana the guy's taint. I wish I could show you guys that picture right now, but that's just the truth, dude. That's just the truth. Louisiana is the taint of the world, and I had to go. It's gross. It's swampy. It's hot. It's muggy. It's dangerous. We were in the cone of 8 hurricanes this season. So far, as we were living there, we were in the cone of 8 major hurricanes, Cat 1 or above.
And the only interesting thing in New Orleans, it smells like piss and vomit for half the year.
I mean, that's not the only interesting thing about. I'll give some love to New Orleans as like a destination, but I've seen enough.
It smells like piss.
It
and
does.
Vomit.
If you're down in the French Quarter and you smell piss, yes, that is human piss. If you smell feces, it is likely human feces. It's gross, hot, muggy, and sticky. But there's like, I don't know.
There's 300 years of vomit baked into the earth.
Oh yeah, like at least there's like probably closer to 400 years worth of straight out puke, just baked into that area of the world from all over the world too. Just like every type of puke and every type of piss that you can imagine. You know what I mean? So that's what makes it good. So it's San Francisco, dude. Let me tell you something. I've spent a lot of time in San Francisco and I've spent a lot of time in New Orleans. Comparing New Orleans to San Francisco is like, let me think of the right analogy here. Is like comparing like an old ass beat up 1972 Ford Pinto to a brand new 2021 Lambo. In terms of like what the city has to offer. Like, yes, there are some pissy ass, fucking shitty ass places of San Francisco. It's a big city. You have to understand, all of New Orleans is that pissy ass, shitty ass shit. It's not just the downtown area where the homeless people roam. It's not just the homeless that are adding to the piss. It's mostly the fucking drunk fucks that just stumble around in the streets with their dicks out, blowing horns, their faces painted up like skulls and shit. And when they gotta piss, they just they hose the street, with it. And it just, I will tell you this: it's been a hot minute since I was in San Francisco. I probably haven't been in San Francisco for a good 10 years. So if it's changed dramatically for the worse in the last decade, then I retract my statement. But I still
like comparing a 2001
Yeah.
Honda Odyssey.
Yeah, then it's like comparing a 1998 Ford Taurus wagon to a new Lambo, okay? Whatever. San Fran smells like hobos and sourdough. Well, I like one of those smells. I like the sourdough smell. But hobos can't help that they stink, dude. Don't make fun. They don't have a shower and you do. I live in the Bay Area and San Francisco is a nightmare. I mean, look, dude, I've never lived there, but I'm telling you, man, there is so much beauty in that area. Dude, as a destination city, Fisherman's Wharf and Alcatraz Island and the whole bay there, just beautiful. Like, I love that area right where downtown crashes into the bay, basically, and there's a lot of those piers you can walk down. It's just beautiful. Like, you can't deny that unless they fucking completely trashed that shit. It's probably twice as bad as it was 10 years ago. Well, I got to tell you, dude, the last time I was in San Fran 10 years ago, I was there for a training, and I was there for almost a month. I lived in a hotel room for 3 weeks and change in downtown San Fran where my training place was. And there was some dope shit about it. Like, I stopped at this breakfast joint every day down there. You like a breakfast sandwich, right, baby? You like eggs and bacon and cheese and shit.
I mean,
Dude,
not as much as a breakfast burrito.
Sure,
Breakfast burrito.
they have that too. So this place was like a little breakfast joint, and they served it wrapped in a newspaper, and they made it right there in front of you. They had a big crew of dudes, and you'd walk in there, and there'd be a line, but it moved fast. And dude, the breakfast sandwich there, it was like an egg McMuffin, but like with care.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, it was perfect, and it was cheap too. And I had to walk like I think it was 6 blocks to my training area. They wanted me to like have a taxi bill and shit, but I actually enjoyed the walk because it was brisk in the morning. It was when everybody was commuting down there, so I saw a lot of businessmen. It was and women coming and going and from their businesses and
It's business folks. Now.
business folks. My bad. I saw a lot of business folks down there. Yeah, I know. I need to learn this shit, dude. Because I corrected myself by saying business women, but I just erased all the NBs that I walked by.
Yeah.
There were no NBs there. They didn't exist then. It was 10 years ago. They didn't, they didn't have gay people when I was young. You just didn't see them. No. Anyway, so I'm walking around down there, and I liked a lot of the little businesses. There was a newsstand that I would go to. There was this, what do they call the Muslim way of cooking? And it's not
Halal.
kosher, halal. There was a halal food cart.
Yeah.
Because the area where I was, when the class that I was taking would let out, they would tell you like, walk the 2 blocks this way and 1 block that way, and that's where all the food carts set up for the business people. And that's your best bet for food in the afternoon, quick. And so I went down there, and I tried a few places, and there was some good, like, I thought the taco trucks were going to be better. They weren't great, but I found that halal, I tried that halal joint, and I'm trying to remember the name of what I don't eat that food's, like a hero? That's not a
Hero, yeah, the GY.
yeah. And they had something like that,
Yeah.
but
Maybe
it was
like naan bread, maybe.
Yeah. That's what it was. It was like naan wrapped around like shaved beef, and you get chicken or lamb, and it was all halal. Dude, I ate at that place almost every day. I'd get the same shit every day. The dude knew me by the time I left. He would just start wrapping it up for me. Once again, served in a little newspaper. And I would go and sit. There was a nice little park down there. So I'm telling you, like, there are parts of San Francisco that ain't bad. And my hotel was right on the harbor. Or not on the harbor, right on the bay. So I could walk 1 block and be walking down the pier out into San Francisco Bay. And I could see one of the bridges. I don't think it was in fact, I know for a fact it wasn't the Golden Gate. I think it was the Bay Bridge. It was right there. Shawarma. That might have been it. Well, it was on a different kind of bread. It was not a fucking hero, but so it could have been a shawarma sandwich or something, but it was wrapped in like that naan type of bread, and it was so good, dude. I don't know if that's true, kosher halal meats being healthier than standard meats. I know that they have standards where they don't use factory farm meat and shit. And the people that I saw, here's why I went there. Because I saw a lot of Muslim people that were dressed in more traditional Muslim garb lined up at that fucking place. And it was a food stall, right? I didn't see any Mexicans or South Americans or Central Americans lined up at the taco trucks and shit. So I finally got sick of eating at the mediocre taco trucks, and I didn't want to do the burger shit. And so I saw that fucking cart, and there's a mosque down there.
Between like kosher is like how they kill. So they still have like factory farm.
What is halal though?
Halal, I think, has like similar rules.
It's like butchering laws. I know that it's like they don't use factory farm meat, right? It has to be butchered in a certain way. And whatever. Like all I'm saying is like I probably wouldn't have tried that place because it had like Arabic on the side. I couldn't even tell what kind of food it was. Sorry. I need to put this pen down for a minute.
Oh, there's my Uber.
All right. I love you, baby.
Love you too.
I'll see you in a minute. They found you. Oh, do you have your mask?
Yeah.
Okay. D, you stay here. Halal meat just means they chant about a lol while the animal bleeds out. Well, whatever it is, like, If they're butchering that animal themselves, then they're not factory farming that animal. For kosher kitchen, plates and cooking surfaces can only be used for one specific type of meat. What if the Uber is a fan? Well, they won't recognize Amelia, probably.
All right. Did I leave my phone?
Did you?
Oh, you know what? I think it's just.
I was gonna say that was quick. Did you find it? Baby,
What?
did you find it?
What?
Did you find your phone?
Yeah.
Okay. Of course they just bleed it instead of using some stun gun, right? But it implies that they didn't just like get a cow that was factory farmed. Like they get, well, whatever it is, I don't care. Like the halal shit, like I said, I don't know anything about it, so I'm not here to fucking defend or whatever halal butchering or whatever the fuck. I'm just telling you the food that I ate there was delicious. And I went there because there was a mosque nearby, and when I got let out for lunch, there would be people dressed in traditional Muslim garb and a lot of people that looked or presented as Middle Eastern folk lined up at that place, and I was like, dude, that's got to be a good joint. And so I lined up, and as I got close, I listened to what the other people were ordering, and I just copied it. And I found my happy spot. Let us see the train. It's like, no. You don't get to see the train. Have you ever seen how Jewish kitchens are covered in foil during the Passover? I've never really been in a Jewish kitchen, bro, so nah. Hold on one sec. Stay there. Don't move. Let me see what time it is. Sorry, guys. I'm not going away. I just have to check the time. Give me a sec. Well, gotta go. Sorry, guys. I gotta run. I'll see you next time. Thanks for chilling. Sorry for those of you that just showed up. Hi, Marshall. I saw you just popped in. We need to talk soon. We need to hook up and just chill, dude. And talk a little whatnot. Talk a little shit. Spit some rhymes and shit. Anyway, whatever. I gotta go. I'll see you guys later. Bye.